dropped a bomb on me, baby. You dropped a bomb on me.
All right, that's what we're talking about today. I am Berto from Sling Paint Gaming.
I am Nims from Sling Paint Gaming.
We are both from Sling Paint Gaming.
Yeah, Sling Paint Gaming.
All right, so a lot of people requested this video, and we are making it.
Here we are.
And the reason why we didn't want to just throw it up there is because we really wanted to think about the layout of this. Just
throw it up there. All right.
Because the funny part is, bombs is it's a lot of time when you just need practice in figuring it out, because there's different strategies that you can have with bombs, and they all do different things, and some detonate on impact, for lack of better words, and some you have to wait. They detonate at the end of the activation phase. So there's just so many different things.
Some are action, some are movement, some are. Yeah.
But you don't see a lot of bomb love in competitions.
You don't. I mean, occasionally here lately we've seen some counternet use.
A lot of actually counternet use. I think has been. Even Paul Heaver was mentioning it in the Nova Squadron Radio that his current build out, he actually was running a K-wing with counternet and extra munitions.
Yeah.
So, but I've seen a lot of people. I was watching some of the tournaments and what have you from FFG. A lot of people running counternets. It's it's a big thing. All right, so bombs. All right,
what are they? How do you use them?
So let's talk about what ships can right off the bat. Now, this is currently before, I want to say, Wave 9 rolls out, so there might be some new ships that Wave 9 has. But we can at least talk about what ships today has it. And the first ship is the Aggressor, which is pretty much the IG series ships.
Your Brobots.
Right.
The Fire Spray is also one. You can have one bomb or up to 3 if you use the Androsta card.
Yes, which is nasty. You also have the TIE Bomber.
Yep. The Decimator is another one.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. I like the Decimator having a bombs.
You don't usually think about that one.
No, you don't. You don't. Everybody thinks about the turret, and this goes with that.
Yep.
The Y-Wing, if you're running the bomb loadout, is a modification? Modification, yes.
The K-Wing, of course.
Yep, TIE Punisher.
And any Rebel ships with Sabine Wren
crew
in a crew slot that lets them use drop bombs.
So like the Ghost, I'm trying to think what other ship, Millennium Falcon, the Freighter, the Hawk. There's several ships that actually you can outfit crew on it, which is pretty nice. All right, so the whole concept. So we're gonna get a little elementary here. All right, again, this is like flight school stuff. Bring it down, and then we're gonna build it up. Bring it down, build it up. All right, so the first thing about using bombs, to drop a bomb, these are the following steps and rules that everybody needs to understand. A lot of people
basic rules.
Basic stuff. A lot of people don't know these things. There's first right off the bat, you take the straight maneuver, right? And you line up on the back of your ship, the one straight maneuver, and you line up the back of your ship. I don't have it actually available, right here. You take the one straight maneuver, you line up the back of your ship. And you place the bomb token, depending on whatever token it is. Each bomb token that comes with cardboards actually have, if you want to look in here, guides. So if you look at the cluster missile here, you can, cluster mines, you can actually see that little guide fits in there, and that's when you drop it. So that's key thing, rule run off the bat. A lot of people, now there are one crew, I should have wrote this down, that actually allows you to drop it using a 2.
Yep.
Or I think there's one ship that actually allows you to drop it in front of you.
Death Rain lets you go in front, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
There's also some that let you use the curved.
Yes. So whatever your ship's, or your pilot's abilities.
Either the ability or the upgrade card. But the basic action of drop or whatever of dropping a bomb is a 1 forward. And use the guides.
It goes in the back of your ship, the rear guides your ship. So the second thing is what?
So you place a bomb token indicated on the upgrade card into play area and slide the guides of the token to the opposite end of the template, like we just showed you.
And the bomb upgrade cards are not a secondary weapon. A lot of people make this mistake.
Yeah.
It's not. So if you are running missiles, cannons, whatever else other secondary weapon, it's not a one or the other. You can actually technically do both. If you have the action, if it's an action bomb, bomb or if it's a reveal your maneuver bomb, you can do that. And then in the combat, you can still attack with your secondary weapon.
Yeah. Some people think they're obstacles too. They don't obstruct attacks. They don't do anything like that. If you're shooting through it, you don't get the defender doesn't get additional dice. So they're not treated as obstacles in that sense.
Another thing a lot of people think about is when the actual bombs detonate. This all depends on the bomb itself. They say it right explicitly on the card. After you reveal your maneuver, or if it's an action, the moment you place it and a ship overlaps or overlaps that bomb or is within range or whatever the case may be, then it detonates. So it depends on what the ship card, what the bomb card says, the upgrade card.
Yeah, and check the FAQ from Fantasy Flight as well. Some of them have been, updated to make sure that you know that it detonates when it gets dropped onto a ship. It's a live bomb the second it drops.
The other thing, though, is if a bomb token detonates when overlapped or dropped under at least more than one ship's base, you actually have to pick which ship base
the attacker.
The attacker, right?
Ships.
So counternet, one of the biggest problems, we actually had this before when we played. I dropped a counternet, or you dropped a counternet. And it overlapped two of my ships.
And then we used both of them.
That was a no-no. It's actually one ship. The attacker gets to pick one ship. So that's definitely a big thing.
Yep. So, and the bomb effect actually is specified by the card as well, whether it's when a ship's maneuver template overlaps it, or like an area of effect, within range 1 at the end of the activation phase, it goes off.
Yep.
You don't even have to touch it. If you're within range 1, you're going to suffer damage. So each bomb is gonna say that on the card how it explodes.
Yeah. And the guides, a lot of people don't know this. The guides on the bomb, these little, I was going to say bad word, but not bad word. Let's just say nipples. These little nipples that are sticking out. You can say that's a clean word.
Sure.
All right. These little
like nubs.
Okay, nubs. These little nubs that are sticking out right here are actually considered part of the bomb.
Yeah.
So if a ship, when you put it down and is overlap or wherever it actually detonates and a ship is on that, guess what?
That counts.
That counts. So a lot of people don't know that. And also when you're measuring range, so some bombs that you say within range 1 of the ship, that little nub counts.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that.
So, and also you can only drop 1 bomb per round.
Yes.
Now, the kind of fun thing about that is if you drop cluster mines, technically there's 3.
Yes.
But it counts as 1.
Yep.
So that's kind of cool.
I do like cluster mines because it is, I think, the only one that actually allows for almost 3 separate actual, things together. But they only get dropped from the center one, and then you put the other 2 on the outside.
Yep.
All right, so the other thing, too, is a lot of people don't know this. A bomb can be dropped with a portion of the token outside the play area.
So if you're on the edge of the board.
Ignore any portion of the token that is outside the play area. So it's just, if it's out there, it's ignored. But if let's say the end of the board's here and you're half in, half out, that's okay. And we're good with that.
So another one is if a ship overlaps another ship, so if they bump, or if it's going to go over a ship, only the portion of the maneuver template that is between the starting and final position
a lot of people get that wrong.
of the ship is counted for the purpose of overlapping bombs. Ignore the portion of the maneuver template that the ship moved backward along to resolve the overlap.
So keep in mind of that too is like it's just like an asteroid. Okay, if you're rounding an asteroid, right? You put your maneuver dial, or you put your template down. If your template dial rounds the asteroid, you're clear. It doesn't like the ship doesn't follow the template. Oh, it's on the rocket, I'm going to hit it. No, it's where your ship begins, where your ship ends, and the template. If it's just like landing on a rock or debris. Very similar rule.
Yep.
And last but not least, the effects of each bombs, like we said, we're going to describe on each the token reference cards, which are pretty. I just had them.
They come with every single ship that has bombs.
Are just like this one. Like here's the cluster mines. Okay. So when you get bombs for a certain ship, it tells you what to do, how to work, and then here's all the bomb tokens and tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, keep those with you.
Yeah, and it's very simple. I mean, a lot of people, they think they see bombs and they're like, okay, well, this one does it on the action phase or at the end of activation phase, and this one does it as soon as I drop it and detonates. Just follow the thing, follow the rules. It's very simple.
Yep.
All right, so there are currently several bombs that are available. So I'm just going to run through the list, and then we're going to go into each one, and then we're going to talk about some strategy with these guys.
Yeah.
All right, so there's proximity mines, seismic charges, proton bombs, cluster bombs, counternet.
Cluster bombs?
Cluster bombs? Cluster bombs! It's a whole lot of bombs! Counternet, ion bombs, and the thermal detonator that just came out with Wave 8. All right, so
What? What was that?
you don't remember C-3PO when Princess Leia comes in to Jabba Hutt's pilot? Why should I give you $45,000? Because he's holding a thermal detonator. You don't remember that part?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do now.
Now I do. He's like,
the way you said it.
all right, so first up, proximity mines.
I didn't realize this was a bendy straw.
Oh, you know, I like my bendy straws. I only get bendy straws from my house.
Cup's too damn.
Yeah, it's a big cup. All right, while he's drinking, I'm going to read it. So, proximity mines is an action. It is one of those actions. And the cool part about proximity mines is that means it detonates upon putting it down on the table in a ship overlaps. So, like this says, action, discard this token to drop one proximity mine token. When a ship executes a maneuver, or if its base or maneuver template overlaps this token detonates.
So pretty much if the ship touches it or the maneuver template touches it, that ship that touched it or maneuver template from that ship.
And the best part about it is the detonation. It says when this bomb detonates, the ship that moved through it or overlapped the tokens rolled 3 attack dice. You like that? And suffers all hits and criticals
What's wrong
rolled.
with you today?
And then discard that token. So the cool part about it is
you take
nasty.
hits and crits.
It hits and crits. That's nasty.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. I did see a couple proximity mines in the Steel Open and some local store tournaments, which is nice. Like I think I think the guy that was playing.
And you don't get to roll defense dice versus these.
It's 3 hits of crits. You roll them and that's it. But just know that this is taken on as an action, so you may lose your action. But if you're running, what is the? I just thought about it off the top of my head. You can run the card that says you're allowed to take.
It was one of the new pilots in the new Imperial Vets
that you can do and take as an action, as another action as your second
as a free action
card. And there's also an EPT slot too. I think that
possibly
I was going to think exposed, but it's not exposed. But that allow you to basically, do it's almost like push the limit, but you push the limit on a card that has an action
experimental
on it.
interface.
That's it, experimental interface. So this can be used for that, which is nice. So you can drop, but again, you can only drop one of them per ship per round or per turn. So that's the proximity. There's a bunch of FAQs on here on the proximity that came with the ship. It says, note that the proximity mine token that is dropped on a ship is placed on the ship's base is immediately detonate. The ship is also considered to be overlapping proximity mine token when it executes maneuver, decloaks, or performs a boost or barrel roll. So if you boost or barrel roll and you land on it, it's considered detonation.
Yep. Unlike an asteroid, where if you were to boost or barrel roll and the asteroid was blocking you, you can't do the maneuver. These, you have to.
Yeah, it blows up.
Kablam.
So just keep that in mind with that.
This is one of the ones that detonates immediately when you drop it and it touches the ship.
Yep. All right. So seismic charges.
All right, so seismic charges are when you reveal your maneuver dial, you may discard this card to drop 1 seismic charge token. This token detonates at the end of the activation phase.
So, and this is cool. So you can get your action.
You get your action. Yep. You do it when you reveal your maneuver dial. So that means you flip your dial over, drop the bomb. Then fly away.
Yep. And the cool
great for low pilot skill pilots.
Good from a blocking standpoint, yes. I like it from a high skill value pilot because this is what I was thinking. I actually had this happen to me.
Okay.
So they had seismic charges, and so I was flying my Baby Blues drink. And I moved all my ships, and I was behind his ship, and I totally forgot that he had a proximity mine. He dropped it, and I already moved all my ships. So at the end of activation phase, it detonated. And I was like, oh. So I was turned in coming behind him. I had 2 or 3 ships behind him tailing in, and he dropped this, and it was nasty.
Ploop.
Yeah. And basically detonation, when this bomb detonates the tokens, each ship at range 1 of the token all suffers 1 damage. It is a nasty...
yeah, the swarm, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming after you.
Anything in range 1, which is a good circumference around, is going to basically feel the pain of that.
Damage.
All right, so that's Seismic Charge.
Nothing really special about that.
Yeah. Proton Bombs. These I never really ever see.
Yeah. So it's when you reveal your maneuver dial, again, same as the last one, you may discard this and drop this token. The token detonates at the end of the activation phase. Exact same as we just discussed.
Yep. And it says basically the detonation, when this bomb detonates, deal 1 face-up damage to each ship at range 1.
So you're dealing a crit to each one.
And the cool part about, well, not the bad
part,
it's 5 points.
That's why you don't see it.
That's why you don't see it. It's very, very pricey. But if you run this and if you get extra munitions, you can actually get a second bomb for 2 points, which is not bad because the extra munitions is only 2 points.
Okay, I see the way you're looking at that.
Yeah, so for 7 points, you just got 2 nasty proton bombs.
That deal crits to everybody. That deals crits. I mean, there's no rolling a dice. It's you deal a crit.
But now keep this in mind.
Range
what a
1.
lot of people forget, which we should have brought.
It'll hurt your own ships.
It'll hurt your own ships.
Yeah, all these bombs can hurt your own ships.
Right. It's not. They don't pick like, oh, it's just the rebels because I'm flying rebels. It's just they're not gonna hurt the rebels. No, it will blow your own ships up.
Yep.
All right. Cluster mines, probably one of my favorites. So this is an action, so it pretty much means when you see an action, it's going to detonate on any ship impact or overlap. So action, discard a card to drop 1 cluster mine token set. That means all 3 of those little tokens. And when a ship's base maneuver template overlaps a cluster mine token, that token detonates. And it's nasty from a detonation.
Yeah, so and it's not all 3 go away at once. It's just that one that gets hit. So the other 2 would still be there.
And the cool part about it is that when it detonates, the ship that moved through that or overlapped it, token rolls 2 attack dice and suffers all hits.
Not crits.
Not crits. Resolve. So if
just
you
like
think about it, it's a 3 out of 8 chance on an attack die.
Yep. Sorry, not like an asteroid because you can take crits on an asteroid. But
yeah. All right, so that's cluster mines. One of your favorites.
All right, so ConnerNet, yeah. ConnerNets. So it's an action again. It stays on the board until somebody runs over it.
Yep.
Discard this card to drop 1 ConnerNet token.
Yep.
When a ship's base or maneuver template overlaps then it detonates.
Yep.
So, but what it does is the affected ship suffers 1 damage and receives 2 ion tokens.
It's nasty.
And skips its perform action step. Now, the reason it receives 2 ion tokens is because it takes 2 ion tokens to ionize a large ship.
Yep.
So anybody's going to be ionized with this one.
Now, keep in mind, I had to look this up in the rules for perform action step. If the ship that this ConnerNet was dropped on already maneuvered and performed its action, right, the next turn, right, it does its normal ion damage 1 forward, right? Does 1 forward, but still gets his actions that turn. So it's only skips a perform action step if during that moment it detonates. So if it's moving, whatever. So just keep that in mind. The next turn when it gets ionized, it resets and it still gets its actions.
Yep.
But ConnerNets, I like Conner, and also
it's 4 points.
Yeah, it's 4 points. Again, extra munitions makes it an extra 2 for 6 points total. You get 2 of them. Keep in mind, though, cards that have actions, most of the time they just stay on the board until somebody runs over them. So you can have cluster. I had this before where I had sets of cluster mines all over the place, right? They stay on the board. Most of the ships that say when you reveal your maneuver, this token detonates. That means it's gone
at the end of the activation phase.
So keep that in mind, that if you want something that stays, a lot of people choose the ones that are actions because they will stay there.
Yeah. So something else to avoid.
Exactly. And you can block lanes, and we'll get into that when we talk a little bit about strategy. All right, so that's ConnerNet. Ion bombs. I never see ion bombs, but it is still pretty cool because
it's cheap.
Yeah, it's only 2 points. It says when you reveal your maneuver, you may discard this card to drop 1 ion bomb token, and the card detonates at the end of the activation phase. And at detonation, you deal 2 ion tokens to all ships at range 1 of the token. So it's cheap. It's 2 points. It's nice. I like that, but it's only ionizing. If you have something, you want to fit something extra on a ship, and you have a ship that has a bomb slot, this actually might be good because you can control some of the where the ships are maneuvering. But keep in mind, again, this only detonates at the end of the activation phase, so ships can go over those dials and templates, and nothing happens. When the activation phase ends, any ship at range 1 detonates, then it'll be ionized. So keep that in mind. All right, last but not least.
What is it?
The thermal detonators. You don't like that. He's like, no.
When you reveal your maneuver, again,
Yep.
this is one that will go away at the end of activation.
Yep.
So this one comes with the ghost, and when this bomb token detonates, each ship at range 1 of the token suffers 1 damage and receives 1 stress token.
That's pretty cool. I like that. So it's 3
like a
points.
frag grenade.
Yeah, that is like a frag grenade. It's 3 points, which is nice. Again, it's at the end of activation phase. People can run over it, go circle around it, go through it. But after they're all said and done, and the turns and the maneuvers are all done, and the activation phase ends, then it detonates. So keep in mind that.
But if you play Battlefront, it makes a really cool sound when it explodes.
The thermal, as they do. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
All right, so that is pretty much how the bombs work and when they work, and some of the little gotchas. The next video, what we're going to do is talk about strategy for these bad boys.
We'll show you how to kind of use them and stuff like that. The thoughts behind it.
Yep. All right. So like us, love us, and I'm saying your words.
It's all good. Check us out online, slingpaint.com.
Thanks,
and
guys.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.